Okay, so you can see my screen. Let me log into my Kali. I'm just waiting for the Kali to finish loading, please. At times it can be kind of slow. So Abdullah, get ready. When I'm done, you take over. You'll be the first person to present when I'm done. Abdullah, and Kingsley. Okay, so I think my screen have finished loading. So first, I'm going to open my browser. Let me go to CyberTalent and read the instruction on the RSA101. Sorry, please, my system is kind of slow, so it's taking time to load. CyberTalent. CyberTalents.com. Let me log in. Please, if my screen stop showing, just let me know, please, because it's important that you see what I'm doing. If at any point my screen stops showing, just let me know. So I'll finish logging in. Let's go to practice. Cryptography. From yesterday, we are supposed to be doing digital forensics, but it won't be nice to just for us to just be moving forward, and you guys are not catching anything. So let's slow down a little. RSA101. RSA101. Okay, so RSA101, that's a challenge under cryptography, and the challenge description says we received a message from our agent, but we don't know how to use our key to read the message. We received a message from our agent, but we don't know how to use the key to read the message. That means this message came with a key, but they don't know how to use the key, right? So first of all, let's click on this link. A link was provided. I believe this link contains a zip file. So let's click on it. Okay, so the file has finished downloading. If you check download, it has finished downloading. So I'll just minimize my Google Chrome and go to download and check for the file. So I'll click here. navigate to download, open, download. So I'm opening the download folder. So if you look at my screen, you see the zip file, RSA101.zip. So that's the file we just downloaded, right? So that is the challenge we are trying to solve. Okay, so before we go further, let's unzip this file and see what is inside. I'll just right click and click on extract here. Okay, so this is the extracted file. Let's open it. So if you open this file, you see that there are two files inside. There are two files inside, cipher, and there's a key.pem. Okay, because if you read the instructions earlier, they'll say we received a message from our agent, but we don't know how to use our key to read the message. So the key they are referring to is what you have here inside this RSA. So that is the key. That's what they are referring to as the key. So this is the key, and this is the message. If you remember from when we started, I gave you definition of what a cipher is. Okay, so this is the cipher, and then we have the key. So now let's look at how we can solve this challenge and get the flag. Okay, so like I believe you guys are following. The first thing I did was to download the file, then I unzip it. Okay, I unzip the file, and now after unzipping the file, you can copy it to either your desktop or any folder or directory that you feel comfortable with. But we can as well just leave it where it is, since we already know how to navigate from one folder to another using our command prompt, okay, or our command line, right? CLI. So now let's launch our CLI. Let's launch our CLI, our terminal, and try to solve the problem from the terminal. Okay, so let me first of all start by printing working directory. Let me see where I am. So I am in the home/Kali folder. Okay, so I will just navigate to download, because that is where we kept the file, right? So I will navigate to download. So if I do print working directory, now you see that I am inside the download folder, right? So inside this download folder, we can also check what is inside. So these are the documents that are inside our download folder. We have this Google Chrome, and we have our RSA101. That is the unzipped one, and then there's also a zipped RSA101, right? So let's navigate into that RSA101. So we do what? CD RSA101. Okay, so if I do PW now, you see that we are inside RSA101. Okay, I can keep this file anywhere. Like I said, I could have kept it on the desktop or inside document. Okay, but I decided to just leave it in the download. Okay, so I decided to leave it in the download. Okay, so now let's try to see what is inside this download. So we have two things inside this download: the cipher, and then we have the key.pem, which are the two files that we downloaded earlier. Now, what is this cipher? This cipher is a file. This is a file containing the encrypted message. That's the encrypted message. Okay. You know the instruction. Let's go back to the description again. Say we received a message from our agent, but we don't know how to use our key to read the message. Okay. So back to our Kali, our CLI, the command line. We have two files inside RSA101 cipher, and like I said, cipher, that's a file that contains the encrypted message. Then we have key.pem, which is a file containing the RSA key needed to decrypt the message. I already explained to you what decryption is, what encryption is, what cipher is, what a plain text is. All those things, we define them in our last class. Okay, so the key.pem is a file containing the RSA key needed to decrypt the message. Now, what is RSA? Because this assignment is all about understanding what RSA is. That's why they name it RSA101. What is RSA? RSA stands for reversed. Okay, I will drop that in the chat. So let me just drop it. RSA stands for reversed Shamir. Reverse Shamir Adelman. Reverse Shamir Adelman. I don't know what that really means. It looks like an Indian something. So RSA stands for reversed Shamir Adelman, which is a public key encryption algorithm. If you don't know what algorithm is, you can read about it, please, because I won't be explaining every thing I'm mentioning here. Even all this RSA, and I'm not even supposed to be explaining it again. These are things you can read on your own. Okay, anytime you're going through, you are reading a material or going through anything, you see a word you don't understand, you can study it, check the meaning. It helps you understand things better. Okay, so RSA is a public key encryption algorithm that allows for secure data transmission. Okay, and this secure data transmission uses a pair of mathematically linked keys. A pair of mathematically linked keys. Okay, so that's by the way. So now what we're trying to do, we're trying to decrypt the message. We're trying to provide a solution to this message. They say they don't know how to use the key to read the message. So we're trying to see how we can use the key to read the message. Okay. Okay, sorry. So we're trying to see how we can use the key to read the message. There's a message that was sent and there's a key that was sent, but the message is locked, it's encrypted. So we need to see how we can use that key to unlock that message. Now to do this, we are going to decrypt this message. We are going to use what we call Open SSL. Open SSL. Open SSL is one, like one word. Open SSL. I've dropped it in the comment. So we're going to use what we call Open SSL. Now, what is Open SSL? Open SSL is an open source software library that implements the source socket layer. That is what SSL stands for. Source socket layer and transport layer security, TLS protocol. Okay. Open SSL It is an open source software library that implements the source socket layer SSL and transport layer security TLS protocol. Okay. So to decrypt this message, we are going to use this command. So I'll just drop it in the comment section, or instead of dropping it, let me just type it here while you follow along. For those of you with your system, you can follow. So the command we're using is open SSL. You give space, then you have RSAUTL, then you have -decrypt. Please, spelling matters in all of this. I'm going to explain each of these command we're inputting now. I'm going to explain them one after the other. Okay, so we have -decrypt. Then we now have -in. Then you type cipher. So this cipher is one of the messages that we received, right? This cipher is one of the files that is inside our the directory RSA101. That is one of the messages we received. Then we are going to start -out. So you now type flag.txt. You can either use flags.txt, or you can use plain, or you can use anything at all, any name that you want. It must not be flag.txt. Now, what we are trying to do is we are trying to remove the message from that is inside this cipher. We're trying to decrypt the message that is inside that cipher. You know, there were two files in the zip folder that we downloaded. Now we're trying to decrypt the message that is in the cipher, and then using the key that is in the key.pam. So you give space, in key. Sorry, there's an hyphen in front of this in key. Then you now put the key.pem, which is the last file that we open. Okay, so when you are done entering this, just press enter. So they say the command RSA was deprecated in version 3. So that means they are telling us that this command was used only for version 3.0. So there's a new command that you can use to replace this particular command. So let's try to type that. So the new command is this pk utl. So instead of typing all of this, I'm just going to copy, or let me just copy this first. To copy in command line, you press Ctrl+Shift+C. To copy in command line, you press Ctrl+Shift+C. The same thing to paste, you press Ctrl+Shift+V to paste. So I'll just navigate to that last point. I'll just navigate to this place and then change it to pkey UTL. Okay, so I'll press enter. I don't know if you can still see my screen. It's like everywhere is getting clumsy. Let me clear the screen so that we can have a better view. So that is the command we just entered. Okay. So it didn't show any error. That means the command ran successfully. Okay. So now let me explain this command to you one after line by line so that you can understand what is happening here. That first command that you have, that p key utl, you know, before I didn't, that was not what I entered. I entered RSAUTL, right? That's RSAUTL. That was the command I entered before, and they told me that that was for an old version of Kali of command line, that is version 3.0, and they gave me a new one to use, which is p key utl. Now that p key utl, what it does, okay, p key utl decrypt. What it does, that command is, it helps you to decrypt the RSA data. I already told you what RSA is. So it helps us to decrypt the RSA data. Then the next command is in cipher hyphen in cipher hyphen in cipher specifies the file containing the key. Okay, not the key, rather the file containing the encrypted message. Hyphen in cipher specify the file containing the encrypted message. You know, if you check the definition of cipher, they already told us what is in there. So it contains the encrypted message. Then hyphen out flag.txt, and like I told you, you can use any other name. This is just like creating a name for a file and then putting something inside that file. Okay, so we are putting the key inside this flag.txt. You can name it anything you want. So hyphen out flag.txt saves the decrypted result to a file named flag.txt. So it saves the decrypted result. That's what was encrypted in the cipher. Hyphen out flag.txt saves that decrypted result into this flag.txt. I don't know if I'm making sense. Then that in key key.pem uses the RSS key. So that uses the RSA key that we just decrypted. Okay. Now, after we run the command, the decrypted result, which is the flag, is saved in the flag.txt. That is the other line. That's second to the last. Is it second to the last? About the third word, the flag.txt file. Okay. So now for us to view the flag, because we have decrypted the flag already using this very one line of command, as simple as that command looks, it's a very powerful command. That command has decrypted the message from the cipher and saved it inside the flag.txt. So for us to view that message, all we need to do is to cut what is inside that flag.txt. I believe you still understand what cat means from our CLI class. And boom, that is our flag. Okay, so cat flag.txt has shown us what our flag is, and the flag is flag curly bracket RSA nice try. So it was a nice try. I don't know if anybody have any question, confusion, anything you need clarification on. I tried my best to explain it to the best of my knowledge. So does anybody need any clarification? If there is no clarification, then you guys will start solving your own. Okay, say where can we get the commands? I'm going to drop a cheat sheet for all of this, but you can't still get everything there. This thing most of the times is as you are solving it that you'll be learning them one by one from based on a particular challenge that you are solving. Okay, based on a particular challenge you are solving, you'll be learning them. Okay, I was about the difference between P key, UTL, and R. Yeah, like they told us, according to what they, it's basically the same thing, but the RSA UTL is like an old version, and you know I updated my this thing, so that would definitely not give us what we want. But that command will still work if you are using an old version of CLI. Okay, so I just dropped the command on the chat for whoever is not seeing the screen very well. Okay, so that will be all from my side. So Abdallah, is it Abdallah? Abdallah, so over to you. You can share your screen and teach us.
All right.
I've forgotten the challenge you picked.
The conjuring.
Which challenge did you pick, Abdallah?
Conjuring.
You said you are going to solve conjuring. Okay, so you can open your whatever you are using, if it's your system, and share your screen with us. And